So this is actually the second meeting between these two pairs in international competition. First time was in the second round of the China Super Series at the end of last year. 2 straight games. Hawakawa and Endo won on that occasion. Oh my goodness. And Boris, of course, it's always quite difficult for two players or pairs from the same nation to play against each other because they'll train together the whole time. They'll know each other's games inside out.
Yeah, this is what we always see. So sometimes when players from the same country play against each other, they actually play on a high level because they know what to do, and they know the partners from the practice. But it's sometimes also interesting because the others don't have so much to lose because there's a kind of a they know the ranking internally. But this is always a chance. So I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Oh, that's well taken. I was talking in the women's doubles about the basic tactics of using what we call the channel attack, the attack down the centre of the court in between your two opponents, narrows the angle of reply and really tries to get the net player involved. And I was talking about the defensive qualities nowadays, and that the defence is so good you can't really expect to hit many winners from the back of the court. Same tactics and principles apply in men's doubles as well?
In general, yes. So you try, of course, to get into the attack. But as you see, it's also not really easy to get a straight point from the rear court. So you have to bring it into the mid court, and then you have a chance to bring the net player in. And of course, it's always the situation, and you see the defense is so straight and so good at the moment that they have to prepare their attack.
Yeah. Precise, varied attack, perhaps the key. It's interesting because, I mean, we did go through a stage in, especially in women's doubles, where the game became very defensive, and here we are, we've already been talking about the defensive qualities, but men's doubles is certainly not defensive. It's all about getting the attacking play.
Yeah, it's true. So I think the biggest target is to win and to control the mid-court, so to force the opponents to lift. And if you just manage this, then you try to control and to build up your attack and to bring your net player in. And you don't see so many changes of defense and attack in the men's doubles like in the ladies' doubles, giving the shuttle away with a lift. So they always fight to get it flat and to get into attack.
It's another good rally. Oh my goodness. Oh, round the back.
On this rally you saw that I think at least Endo and Hayakawa, they're feeling a bit like the favorites, so the net player is not so aggressive like he's in the other games. So right now we can still see that they expect to win.
Sounded like broken strings to me, yes indeed. Sound of the shuttle coming off the racket always very different when the strings have been broken.
5-2.
Did well to control that. Now you coaches, Boris, always emphasise in your coaching about the first 3 shots of the rally, the serve, return and third shot. Now just explain to us why that's so critical in doubles.
It is actually the opening situation of the rally, and therefore as you have to serve from down to upper side, you always the first chance you can get an opportunity, and that's why of course there's always been strategies to get an opportunity and an advantage in the first 3 strokes, because this can decide the whole rally.
Yeah, it's actually 4-5 now. It's clever placement of the smash, aiming towards the right hip.
6-4.
Much easier to defend backhand than it is forehand. Technically an easier shot to play, and therefore players tend to be a little committed sometimes to the backhand defence, and if you can just aim towards the right hip for a right-hander, it's very, very awkward for your opponent then to defend that. Ooh, service fault called. Shuttle struck above the waist.
7-5.
Difficult to know at the moment with Endo and Hawakawa whether they're full of confidence that they're going to win this, or whether they're feeling a little bit under pressure, the burden of expectation, because everybody's expecting them to win. I can't quite work it out yet.
For me, actually, it looks a bit like that they're not 100% focused yet, and they still have the speed and they still have the key situations to make fast points, and it's gonna work out for them, I guess, and that's why they're still quiet, they're still confident. I don't think there's so much pressure on them right now.
Oh, what a good low serve. Goodness me, just skimmed over the net. Perfect. Just snatched at that. Right to go for it, in my opinion. But making the error. Now, of course, with all players on court from the same nation, the Japanese coaching staff not advising either pair, can't be seen to be biased by helping one pair and not the other. So just tell me, with your coach's hat on, what do you do when you've got two players playing against each other in a match, or two pairs? Do you sit somewhere in the hall and just quietly watch and have an internal smile and pride that your two players are on court, or do you still film it, and what's the routine? Of
course, you watch it, you're interested how it works outside the practice sessions, and if it's actually they're from one team, so I'm not going like I'm more happy for them or for those to win, but I just want to have a good match and to get also experience out of this match, and that's why we also film it and we analyze it, but we're not, of course, we're not go on the court.
No.
6.
Well, 5 straight points. Six straight points. Well, ever since I asked that question about were they feeling the burden of expectation, I don't think they've lost a point. Yeah. You were right, that's why you're a coach and I'm not.
You see it from the body language that they're not so under pressure, so there's no there's actually no cheering when they make a point or something like this. And this, they just take the shuttle away, they just take the shuttle and go on for the next rally, and then you see they don't have so much pressure right now.
Well, vastly more experienced as far as international badminton is concerned. They're older as well. The #1 seeds are both 27 years of age, whereas their opponents have only just turned 24. Both of them had a birthday last month. Fantastic play from Kimura. Crouched down in that defensive position and drove the shuttle back even quicker than it had come at him. Oh, that's loose. Oh, I'm not sure I would have left that. When it's so short and there's an ideal opportunity to play the winner. Well, they're getting closer. Just 3 points in it now.
Still, you see that Endo and Hayakawa are not taking any high risk. They're building up their attack through the middle, and then it's easier for the net player to cover the next one, so they don't take a high risk on their attack right now. Because
is that right, or do you think they ought to be taking more risk?
If they're under pressure, they would take more risk than now. So right now it's easier for the net player to control and to bring the shuttle always in without any high risk. Oh, good serve again.
Not allowed to tell down after that run of 5 straight points to Kimura and Sonoda.
Wenn Sie es nicht ändern, machen wir sie Menschen in grün und nicht wie die Kamera feiern, sondern die echt. Also, bitte, Opa.
Whenever I watch Sonoda and Kimura, they always look like busy players on court. Do you know what I mean by busy? They're always sort of quickly dashing here and there, whereas I'm watching the #1 seeds, and you're right, they look very calm, they look in control.
I think that's a general way of playing. So how the people are from their athletics, how they work in court. You have controlled people, you have very fast people, and it's always important what they do at the stroke, how early they get into the stroke, and what is the record control. Up to 1 point.
Short. Yeah.
And also here, all the attacks, all the preparation strokes went straight to the middle, so it makes it easier for the net player to cover.
15-13.
I remember last year's All-England final featuring this pair, and they really were crippled with nerves that day. Do you remember watching that? As they lost out to Liu Xiaolong and Chu Sihan of China.
14-15.
Big occasion for them to be in the All-England final. Nice cover. Yeah, it was the cross-court block from Kimura. Changed the momentum of the rally. He blocked cross-court, moved forward.
50-all.
Well, I wouldn't have predicted this a few minutes ago. Back level. And all credit to them. Nine of the last 11 points going to Kimura and Sonoda. And now into the leads.
16-15.
This is going to be an interesting situation now, because, as I said, they didn't look to me to be very focused, and if they lose a bit concentration, the other make easy points, and now we'll look how they get back.
Yeah. Oh, that's unbelievable. What reactions. That was just instinctive from Hawakawa.
16-4.
Literally knocked to the ground with that.
Let's see if they increase the pace now.
Move forward at the right moment. Sonoda. Oh my goodness, there was a big gap there.
Well, he stopped after his attacking action in the rear court. That's surprising.
That's a lovely return of serve. That's the mid-court area that you were talking about earlier. Get it past the net player, make the shuttle land in front of the rear court player. Absolutely ideal in doubles. All level once again. Change of racket this time for Sonoda. It's a good return of serve. And look at the way that the number 8 seeds are really fired up, bouncing up and down on the spot, urging themselves on. And I suppose at times it's a fine balance between getting overexcited and keeping the nerves, keeping the clear thinking. Oh! 19-18. Now, absolute tension, no question of it. And I suspect this opening game will be crucial. Well, Kawakawa and Endo don't like the call. Oh, we couldn't see it. Player in the way. Didn't actually see it land, but the fact is that the number 8 seeds, Kimura and Sonoda, have a game point opportunity. And they've taken it. Coming from 6-13 down to take the opening game, 21-19. What actually changed in that opening game? I mean, the number 1 seeds seemed to be cruising at 13-6 up, and what was it? Did they take their foot off the pedal? Was there a change of tactics?
No, I don't think there was a change of tactics. I think they felt quite safe in this match, and they just got off the pace a bit, and at the end they tried to make the fast points, but they made the mistake, they made the faults. So that's why they had these 2 points ahead. And now we'll see, I think we will see that they work more concentrated and more focused, and that they don't get into a close situation again if they really want to win this match. But again, this attack and the whole action was just on the middle line, now to keep the net player into the position to get into the point position.
Oh, that's nice. Well, you see, a defensive error like that from Hiroyuki Endo, that to me looked a nervous shot, because he's usually so solid on his defensive play. Oh, service fault call, struck above the waist.
4-2.
No, it was almost as if he changed his mind.
3-4.
This is really surprising for me. So actually I would expect that they really try to get a high advance in this first part, but for example, actually the last shot just looked so unfocused.
5-3.
But they're still safe.
Well, all 3 titles that the number 1 seeds have won throughout their career have been Grand Prix Gold events.
4-5.
Now that's the sort of thing I expected to see from them from the start. Well, he's a fairly quiet character, is Hiroyuki Endo. Fairly introvert sort of person, but I'd like to see a little more animation from him, I think, in between rallies. That's lovely.
Separation through the middle, and then we can see how they position. Good attack.
All the players allowed to tell down. Well, this final has been in progress some 30 minutes.
美巡赛会有哪些精彩时刻？球星们会有哪些精彩镜头？2014年摩斯高球将持续带给高球迷们最精彩的联邦快递杯。喜爱美巡赛的高球迷，您一定不能错过。
Strong is what happens when your dreams become reality.
Refusing to let the competition define you.
Knowing your limits and ignoring them completely.
Strong is changing the definition of what's possible.
Unleashing the voice of the inner warrior.
Finding moments of peace and perfect grace.
Strong is having the heart to dream big and the fortitude to live your dreams.
Strong is beautiful.
Strong is women's tennis.
博斯网球台独家掌握全球最专业的网球节目《Uncover 网球杂志》，看专家与记者们如何分析2014。
That's where it becomes a little disturbing to me. But when we have great rallies. It's going long. So to the mid-game interval, 4-point advantage for the #1 seeds.
There's still no real fire in this match. You can feel it on the crowd. So they are normally they really like the rallies and they're cheering for any good rallies. But right now also the crowd is quite calm. So I hope for some good actions now to get them back.
Is part of that, though, the fact that you've got two pairs from the same nation, and perhaps some of the fans don't know which pair to support?
Well, then it goes back to the real sports. So then they just cheer for a real nice rally and real nice actions if they don't have any, and if they're not fans of any players. And right now you feel the crowd is very patient because there's no real fire in the match.
Pounced onto that one much quicker, did Kenichi Hawakawa. Incredible defense.
Very good defense, but still I think they are standing quite deep, so they are not really try to get the offensive, and also quite a sign that they are not absolutely focused.
Oh, my word. Sonoda intercepting there, and his timing on that had to be perfect. That was absolutely magnificent.
We have the same situation now, like in the first set. Comfortable lead, and now they are taking a few points in a row.
Surely the #1 seeds won't make the same fundamental errors they did in the opening game by just not pushing home the advantage. Broken racket. Racket head absolutely smashed to smithereens. Clash of rackets often does that.
16
Good return of serve, made it very awkward for Hawakawa. Oh, right idea.
12-17.
Yeah, well taken. Yeah, a little more urgency from the player at the net now. Awakawa, very sharp there. 3 points away from forcing the third and deciding game. Make that 2 points away.
19-12.
Oh, that's fantastic. A perfect example of just aiming slightly wide of the right hip when the player is defending backhand stance. Game point opportunities.
This was a good situation to see them in defense and they go actively forward. This is what I miss a bit in this match. So they're defending in the action afterwards. Sometimes to me it looks that they're not 100% ready. But that was good.
Yeah, perfect return of serve.
Yes.
And the second game goes to the #1 seeds, Kenichi Hawakawa and Hiroyuki Endo, 21-14. Just shy of 40 minutes. And we will indeed have a third and deciding game. Good change of pace. You know, I couldn't help but think at the change of ends there after the second game. Went through my mind that really it was all going to be one-way traffic. I sort of thought, well, the experienced pair, the #1 seeds, they're now into their rhythm. I'm not sure it's going to actually be like that.
Yeah, so now we have a decider, and we saw from the start that they are now pushing. Especially Kawamura and Sonoda, so I think they feel a chance to be in here, and I think the start is going to be deciding now.
Yeah, I'm having little flashbacks to the women's singles because I completely wrote off Sayaka Takahashi after she dropped the second game to 8. I thought that the whole momentum of the match was going to be with Sung Jae-hyung, and I had that same sort of feeling as the players changed ends for the start of this deciding game. And I'm just sort of thinking, it's not going to work like that. Well, I do think this is going to be quite a test of character for the #1 seeds.
Definitely, yes. So I hope right now, already you see much better rallies now, and now you hear that they're pushing, that what we missed all the time, and it's going to be interesting. Now better rallies, more action, more ready for each stroke, and then now they move forward, you see, and this is also good for the match. And now we see the real performance, I think.
Oh, that's super play from Sonoda. I think he has good vision, doesn't he? When he's defending, he sees where the gaps are and just turns and blocks the shuttle.
Absolutely.
Service over. 2-4.
Well, it's the younger player doing all the attacking. This is not what I expected.
Me neither, so they're still standing deep in defense, so actually they can change it, they can change direction, find the gap on the other side, but still they don't do it very, very often. Feather.
Service over. 3-5.
Yeah, that's much more positive, isn't it? Well, I have to say, the more I watch this pair of Kimura and Sonoda, and I've watched them for about 18 months now, and certainly throughout this tournament here in Germany, they just seem to have got better and better with every match they play.
Yeah, that's true. Every match they improve a bit. So they are very, very fast. That's so impressive. As you saw, the jump was a smash that high. And they have now good combinations to prepare and to make the setup and to finish at the net, and that's that they improve match by match.
Oh, service fault called, struck above the waist, says the service judge. Just wrong.
6-7.
Well, we've talked about the younger players improving every time that they play. How much long-term potential do you think they have when you think of the up-and-coming Chinese players, Koreans, Indonesians, of course, the world champions at the moment. Do you see this young Japanese pair as perhaps challenging the very best within a year, 2 years?
Definitely, definitely. So the potential is quite clear, and as they're very fast and they have quite good opportunities. So especially with a good eye with the gap and how to get back into the attack. And these are the basics, and they're quite good in this already.
Yeah.
And they learn and they improve match by match. And that's the important thing. You can do it in the practice every day, but the real steps forward you make just in competition.
Yeah. And already in this tournament, they've disposed of the number 4 seeds, Li Shengmu and Sai Chia Sen of Taipei, and the number 2 seeds, Hun Tian Hao and Tan Wee Keong of Malaysia. And if they continue like this, they're going to dispose of the number 1 seeds as well. Unbelievable. Well, the crowd getting much more involved now, and the more rallies like that we have.
Fantastic to see that even End and Hayakawa, they look much more calmer from the body language and not so like the others, so active, but they're so fast of course. It's totally different players, but the technique is absolutely good.
Wasn't the best of serves. No, and they were on the defence from the beginning of the rally, and having been called a fault on the previous low serve, Hayakawa there. Well, it's desperately loose. No, that's not the rally prior to the change of ends. Hayakawa and Endo just asking the umpire for the court attendant to come on. All the court attendants, volunteers, junior badminton players from the local club. They've been here all week.
They're in all week, and yesterday we had a special article in the news that they made a report about the MOBA kids from German Open. It was very nice. Actually, it is a different concept to most of the other events, but we decided to get the young players, very close to the court because they have the most impressions there, and they really like it. That's what they're talking about all the year, to sit here next to the court.
Yeah, fabulous.
Now it's really difficult to say what we expect now.
8-11. Just 3 points in it. Oh, it's landed in. It's a good serve. Oh, it's a very good return too, though. It's gone long. Working their way back into this, Hayakawa and Endo. That looked like a nervous shot to me. Just like to see a little more urgency in the whole body language and style of play from the #1 seeds.
Yeah, it's still the same where I always thinking, when do they start?
Yes.
I missed the start to be a bit more to fight, to cheer, and this looks a bit one-sided now.
Yeah, great awareness of the youngsters in the final shot from Sonoda, forcing the dive from Endo. Just sense that we're approaching a stage of now or never for Endo and Hayakawa. They've got to be more proactive. It's just not happening for them. Yeah, good to hear the crowd getting involved. Hate to say it, but another nervous-looking shot from Hayakawa. Oh, that is brilliant. My goodness me. Seemed to be off balance. How on earth did he play that across court?
14-17.
It's all out attack from the youngsters, Kimura and Sonoda.
18-14.
Always on the middle, going forward.
Yeah.
Möchten den Zuschauer im Block
Oh, it's all good. Public address just asking people not to use the flashlight on the cameras. 2 points away from the title. It's gone long.
What a defense. Fantastic. Oh, the match point.
6 match points to be precise. Oh, out attack again. Oh, that lift was going long, surely. And they have beaten the #1 seeds, Takeshi Kimura and Keigo Tsunoda, their second Grand Prix gold title to add to the US Open that they won last year. And they have disposed of the #1 seeds, Kenichi Hayakawa and Hiroyuki Endo, in 3 games, which means that they've taken the title by beating the #1, the #2 and the #4 seeds. What a remarkable performance. The moment of victory. What a match they played.